Thank you so much for joining me today. So today is going to be a class centered around balance, and balance can really help with strengthening all of the muscles through the legs and the core. So when you're ready, we're going to get started in a malasana squat. And for this, you want to have your feet a comfortable distance apart. It's really deep flexion into the hips and the knees, so it can help to lift out of it a little bit at first. Or if you have a block, you can sit on it here. So sinking the hips down to a place that is somewhat comfortable. A little bit of movement at the very beginning can help to just ease into this one. And then when it feels somewhat comfortable, we're going to find a place of stillness. And again, if your heels are lifted, you can always roll up a mat and put that under your heels. But settling in, we're going to take the elbows inside of the knees, taking the hands to prayer. And on an inhale, lifting the chest, drawing the shoulder blades together, finding a nice open inhale and releasing a full exhale. And then taking the right hand down to the mat, we're going to inhale, lifting the left hand all the way up, exhaling the left hand down to the mat, inhaling, reaching the right arm up, exhaling, taking it down to the floor. Going again, so inhaling, reaching up with the left arm, exhaling, taking it down to the floor, inhaling, reaching the right arm all the way up and back, exhaling, taking it down, so feeling that twist at the waist. On the next inhale, drawing the left arm up for the last time, exhaling, taking it back down to the mat. Inhaling, reaching the right arm all the way up. Exhaling, hand comes down to the floor. From here, we're going to lift the hips, heel toeing the feet together, and I'm going to head up to the top of my mat. We should be heading in towards a forward fold and bending the knees on the inhale, reaching up overhead. Exhaling, folding forwards. On the inhale, taking the hands to the shins, lifting the chest halfway. And then exhaling, planting the hands, stepping back into our plank pose. Taking a deep inhale here, pressing down into the hands. On the exhale, we're going to lower, maybe halfway, maybe all the way. And then on the inhale, lifting the chest, untucking the toes, coming into our upward facing dog. Exhaling, taking the hips all the way back and up into our downward facing dog, and taking a little bit of a pedal of the legs here. So gently easing our way into the practice, breathing in deeply, exhaling fully. On the next exhale, we're going to lower the knees back down to the mat. So we're coming into our tabletop pose here and taking the hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. On an inhale, we're going to extend the right arm and the left leg. Exhaling, taking those out to the side. Inhaling, reaching them long. And then exhaling, drawing the knee and the elbow together, taking the hand back down to the mat. We're going to go again on the other side. So on the inhale, we're going to reach the left leg long, the right leg long, and the left arm ahead. Exhaling, taking those out to the side. Inhaling, arm out in front, leg behind. Exhaling, drawing the knee and the elbow together. So we're going to go one more time on each side. So on an inhale, extending the left leg, drawing the right arm in front. Exhaling, taking them out to the side. Inhaling, hand in front, leg behind. Exhaling, taking the knee and the elbow together. And then bringing the hand and the foot back down to the mat. So last time on the other side. Inhaling, extending the right leg and the left arm. Exhaling, taking them out to the side. Inhaling, drawing them up in front and behind. And then exhaling, taking the knee and the elbow together. Hand comes down to the mat and the knee follows. On a big inhale, we're going to lift the chest and the tailbone. Exhaling, drawing the chin under, tucking the tailbone. Inhaling, lifting the chest into our cat pose. Exhaling, tucking everything under. And then taking a big inhale, drawing the back to a neutral position. On the exhale, we're taking the hips all the way back and up into our downward facing dog. Breathing in here, releasing a full exhale. On the inhale, we're going to take the left foot all the way up behind. Exhaling, taking the foot in between the hands, finding that all-important balance point, right? Breathing in here, releasing the exhale. On the next inhale, we're going to lift the back foot, taking the hands just to fingertips. And then when you feel ready, releasing the hands entirely, drawing the hands to prayer at the heart center, and starting to think about drawing the shoulder blades together, right? Squeezing the glutes to keep the back foot lifted. Finding our warrior three. Breathing in here. On the exhale, maybe taking the hands down to the mat. Inhaling, turning the right toes to the right. And then on the next inhale, we're going to see about lifting the right hand off of the mat, taking it up overhead, and allowing the shoulders to stack. So we've got the right shoulder directly over the left shoulder here. Breathing in deeply into our half moon. Exhaling, right hand comes back down to the mat, turning the toes back towards the floor. Taking an inhale here. Exhale, hands come up, coming back into our warrior three, drawing the shoulder blades together. Breathing in deeply. Taking the right foot back down to the mat. Inhaling, taking the hands up overhead into our high lunge. Breathing in here, releasing a full exhale. And if you feel a little bit wobbly in high lunge, you can always widen the feet. So taking the feet a little bit wider apart. Taking one last inhale here. With the exhale, taking the hands down to the mat, stepping back to plank. Breathing in deeply. With the exhale, we're going to lower all the way down to the mat, taking the hands wide. Inhaling, lifting the chest. Exhaling, right shoulder down to the mat. Inhaling, back up to center. Exhaling, left shoulder back down to the mat. Inhaling, reaching upwards. And then with the exhale, we're going to take the hands in close and we're going to press the hips all the way back into our child's pose. And drawing the knees together here allows for a little bit of extra release through the lower back. Reaching the hands forwards, taking a bend at the elbows, drawing the hands to prayer and taking them back towards the shoulder blades allows for a little bit of release through the upper shoulders. Taking a deep inhale. When you're ready, taking the hands back down to the mat, coming into our all fours pose, our tabletop, tucking the toes On the next exhale, we're taking the hips all the way back and up into our downward facing dog. Maybe taking a gentle pedal of the legs once more. Lifting one heel at a time, bending the knees, allowing the hips to rise and fall. And then on the next inhale, we're lifting the right foot all the way up behind. Exhaling, taking the foot in between the hands. Finding that point of balance as we lift the hands off of the mat, reaching them up overhead into our high lunge. Breathing in deeply here. Exhaling fully. When you're ready, taking the hands down to the mat. Maybe taking a gentle rock forwards and backwards. Breathing into the belly. On the next inhale, taking all the weight into the right foot, lifting the left foot behind, coming up onto the fingertips. And then maybe releasing the fingertips entirely, drawing the shoulder blades together, taking the chest parallel to the floor. Inhaling deeply, finding a variation of Warrior 3 that suits you. One more inhale. With the exhale, releasing the hands down to the floor. Inhaling, the left toes turn towards the left, opening the hip. On the next inhale, maybe the left hand lifts, coming up towards the sky, opening the chest to the left. And we're aiming to have the shoulders stacked one over the other. Breathing in deeply. Squeezing the glutes to lift the left leg a little higher. With the exhale, taking the left hand back down towards the mat, turning the toes towards the floor. Breathing in, lifting the hands one more time, finding our Warrior 3. Allowing the muscles in the right leg to find that point of balance. And then exhaling, taking the hands down to the floor, foot comes down behind. On an inhale, sweeping the arms up overhead into our high lunge. Sinking down into the right knee, keeping the knee over the ankle, right? Reaching up with the hands. And then exhaling, taking the hands down to the mat, stepping back into our plank pose. Breathing in deeply here. With the exhale, we're going to lower, maybe just halfway this time. Inhaling, lifting the chest into our upward facing dog. And then exhaling, taking the hips all the way back and up into our downward facing dog. Breathing in deeply, allowing the shoulder blades to roll up the back. Maybe taking a few yeses and nos to the head. On the exhale, taking the knees down to the mat. We're going to tuck the toes behind us. And this can be a little bit of an uncomfortable pose, right? We're going to stretch out the soles of the feet. So they've been doing a lot of work keeping us balanced. And you might have to tuck the little toes by hand. I always do. But if we take the hands down in front, it takes a little bit of intensity out of this pose. Breathing in with every exhale, just releasing a little bit more tension in the feet. Maybe coming up, lifting the chest, taking the back straight. seeing how that feels. And again, option to come forwards once more if it's not feeling great today. Otherwise, maybe seeing about taking the hands behind, and then option to allow the head to come back in line with the spine. Breathing in deeply, feeling the stretch all across the front of the body and through the backs of the feet, all at the same time. One more inhale here. And then with the exhale, coming forwards, taking the hands in front, tapping the toes on the mat, just getting everything back into the right socket. I'm going to sink the hips down, taking the feet out in front. And we're going to draw the left foot in towards the groin, inhaling, reaching upwards. Exhaling, folding forwards, maybe taking hold of the calf or the ankle or maybe the foot. And drawing the chest towards the floor. Breathing in deeply, allowing the release all through the back of the right leg and maybe a little bit through the left hip. Maybe tucking the chin. Taking one last inhale here, and then with the exhale, walking the hands back in towards the body. We're going to swap the legs over. So taking the right foot in towards the body, inhaling, reaching upwards, exhaling, folding forwards, and seeing how far you come, right? You don't have to pull yourself into this one. So maybe hands come towards the shin. Maybe they just rest on the mat. Taking the chest forwards. Releasing whatever you're holding on to, walking the hands back inwards, maybe coming down into a reclined position, or maybe sitting back in a nice comfortable seated position. Thank you so much for taking this practice with me today, and hope you have a really wonderful day.